Hello and welcome. My name is Rick, and this is a Factorio video. I'm recording this to answer two questions posted by one gentleman that saw my last video. His name is Czár Iván. I believe he's from Hungary. And the first question is, why don't you connect the tank to each other and read the water level only from one of them? This is the first question. The second question is, why is better to even the levels with pumps? I believe the second question is easier and quicker to answer. So, why is better to even the levels with pumps? Well, because as I said earlier, if you don't even the levels, when a train comes here to deliver the contents, only one or two pumps will be functioning, and this will not maximize performance. It would take longer for the train to deliver its content. So let's see, the train is coming. So when the train comes, all of three pumps will work together, and their capacities will be combined to deliver its content as soon as possible. So let's suppose here I had another very big water storage here. So I would separate these three from the other big storage because these three, the only purpose of them is to make sure that the train is unloaded as fast as possible. So that's that. That's the advantage of keep them leveled. And for this, look at the train. So all of three are working now. All of the three are done. So you maximize the performance. Okay. If you want to create another big storage on the side and connect to the first, this the only purpose of this first storage is to unload the train as fast as possible. Then you can have a second storage separated here, and you deliver water to the other storage, but you always keep the water levels even in those three to maximize the unloading time or to minimize the loading time, maximizing performance. Um, the other question, why don't you connect the tank to each other and then read the water level only from one of them? See, I have two systems here. There are two different things, so you need to be very careful with that. When I hover the mouse over this tank, you have the red circuit, which is connected only to this tank, and you have this green circuitry here, which in fact is doing what you ask. It is connected to the three tanks and reading the water level from all of the three. But this red circuitry here is being used by the set reset latch system, which is related with those three decider combinators up there. So let's go over this first, and then we go over the red circuit uh, after that. So this green circuitry reads the content of all three tanks, sends it to the arithmetic combinator here, which will divide by 3 to find the average amount. All right, so this guy here is connected only to the middle tank, which is connected to the other tanks. The water amount is combined, so 65,000 here, and is divided by 3. The average is 21,000. This 21,000 is then sent to the other system, the set reset latch, to make decisions based on the average, the info signal. So if the average is above or equal 24,000, resets the system, releases the train. Uh, if the average is below or equal 20,000, it sets the system again, turn it on, and then this is only for this is necessary because the logic here is done at the electronic level. I'm an IT guy, I'm a software engineer, so I'm used to work with logic, but at the software level, this is one level below. It's very complex to understand this. I had to go to, to look some electronic material. That's very hard for me to understand. This system is used in the electronic circuitry. Uh, this is the first system. It's using the green one here to calculate the average, and based on the average to calculate if the three pumps up there and the station should be enabled or not. This is the first system. The second system is nothing related to that. It's some very other stuff. The second system uh, is reading. The second system also needs the average, also needs the average outputted here using a green signal. You see that the output of this arithmetic combinator, the 24,000 now, is outputted to the pump as a info signal, and it's used here to compare with the water level. The water level in this case for this pump is only being read by this particular tank here. All right? Did you grasp that? So, what this pump will do is compare if the water amount is being read only by this tank, if this content of this tank is above or equal the average which I have in the info signal here. Okay? So, if it's true, it will enable the pump. If the water content from this tank is above the average, this pump will be turned on to expel the water into the next storage or next thing, whatever it is. You also need to keep in mind that the pump also reads its own content and adds, sums it with the content in the tank. So you can fit 200 water units into a pump, and by that, what does that mean? It means that let's say the average is 22,000. Let's say that. It will enable the pump when the content of both the tank and the pump combined is above 22,000, which means if I have 2001 here now, means I have 21,800 in the tank and 200 in the pump. And the pump will be turned on and it will start expelling the first 200 that is in the pump, out of the pump to the next level, and it will grab 200 more units from the tank. And now, because it expelled 200, now the amount in the tank and in the water pump combined is going to be 21,800 in this case. So if now this new value is not equal, not above, it's below the average, the water pump will be turned off, and the other pumps probably will be turned on. So in this case, I can always have at least 200 water being expelled to the next level by one of the three pumps, making the levels on them even. And as I explained earlier in this video, the advantage for this is to maximize the unloading performance of the train. This has nothing to do with preventing the train from getting stuck here in the endless loop where you slowly load water into this tank and the other segment is slowly consuming water. So to prevent the train lock to occur has nothing to do with the even levels. The even levels has to do with making the train to unload faster. Uh, to prevent the lock in this endless looping, you gotta use the other system, the set reset latch, which will have two thresholds, the lower threshold and the higher threshold. So we have two separate systems here. I can do a video from scratch setting this up in the future if you will. All right. So I think that's it for this very long answer. Bye bye.